The worst thing you can do is let anxiety control your life. So, welcome back to Mel's Talks. We're going to talk about anxiety today. Well, what it isn't is panic attacks. It's not nerves. It's not thinking, oh, I've got a job interview coming up and I'm a little bit worried about it. Or it's not, oh, I don't know what I'm going to wear tonight to go out, so I'm a little bit nervous. We bandy the term about anxiety quite freely, but it's not that. Anxiety can be a crippling panic that can literally stop you from leaving your own house. It can lead to depression. It can lead to overeating, undereating. It can lead to sleepless nights. And in some awful cases, it's linked with depression. Anxiety can really debilitate your life. When we think about anxiety in the menopause, so some of the symptoms could be racing hearts, or you've got blurred vision, loss of concentration, loss of memory. So you are struggling to remember people's names that you know. So, you're introducing someone and you don't remember their name. And then you can't introduce them, and that's embarrassing. And that can be a trigger that sends you into like an anxious spiral where you start thinking to yourself, well, the next time I'm going to be in this situation, I could be in front of someone really important, my managing director, or I'm at a networking event and I'm trying to talk about my business, or I'm trying to introduce someone that's really important and I can't do it because I've forgotten their name. And just a simple thing where it's happened once or twice can start to trigger the symptoms of anxiety. And let me give you a small example for myself. So, as those of you that know me may know, I'm very, very proud mother of a firefighter. And he was coming off of a night shift. So he always calls me, and I missed his call. Very simple. And then when I realised, I tried to call him back, didn't get him. Called him back again, didn't get him. And then I sent him a message, is everything okay? He didn't respond. Out of nowhere, and this is sort of the first time, but it's really overtaken me like this, I went into a spiral of anxiety. I was petrified that something had happened to him, and now he was calling me for help and I didn't answer, and I needed to speak to him then. And I proceeded to call him, cannot tell you how many times. And then he answered, and he's just moved into a new house, so I need to he doesn't ignore his mother. He'd moved into a new house and they haven't got their internet yet, so the reception's really patchy. And he answered and he was like, "Mum, are you okay? What's happened?" And as soon as I heard his voice, I almost dissolved into tears. And we laughed about it, and he was like, "Mum, you're such a melt." But my point is, had I not been able to speak to him, literally my throat was tight, my heart was beating in my throat. I started to get a headache, my palms were sweaty. I'd already envisaged the worst possible thing had happened to him. Paralysed with fear. And it just came from nowhere, out of nowhere. Now I realised when I think about this for myself, and I was quite shocked by how deeply it affected me, that I'd had signs in the weeks previous. So life's been busy, I'm looking to move home, I'm work is work, and my little thing that I always say is life be lifing. So right now, life is doing what life does. I'm juggling many plates and balls and all sorts of things, and so I've been really stressed. And because I've been really stressed, and I'm menopausal and stressed, my body's already in a stress state, so it doesn't take a lot to tip it over the edge. And we all know that moving home and thinking about changing jobs or work a couple of the most stressful things that you can have. Add on to that, we've had some family deaths recently, And now, we're really racking it up. The only thing that's missing is divorce. That's not happening, so that's good. But the stressful things in life are happening. So I'm not sleeping well. I'm not eating as well as I could because my appetite's up and down. The menopause does that to you. Hormonal changes your appetite. So I'm not sleeping well. I'm already under stress. Then I could really, if I'd thought about it, I can see, or now I'm thinking about it, I can see where the symptoms of anxiety are coming from. And then a small trigger of the worst possible thing for me that could possibly happen would be anything to happen to my son. My life, I don't know what I would do. But it just came on, and it was just really overwhelming. So I think when I was thinking about what I would talk to you about today, it wasn't this at first. I was going to talk about some of the other symptoms, maybe brain fog. But I realised that actually at the centre of all of the other symptoms is anxiety. Because when you're going through the menopause, the anxiety that you don't know what your body is going to be doing from moment to moment is stressful. And that causes anxiety in itself. So that the trigger for a big old panic attack can come from anywhere. It can be, that you're out and you realise that, oh my goodness, as often happens, I think I might be bleeding, I might have spotting, and you've picked up a bag that doesn't have, anything in it that you need. You haven't got tampons, you haven't got pads, so there's an anxiety around making sure that, how we as women like to carry around these big sack of bags. It isn't because we like losing things in them. It's because we're anxious, particularly at this stage in our life, that we're not going to have the things that we need. So you need to have, for me, it's, I get headaches. So I've always got to have my paracetamols. If my back becomes an issue, got to have my pain relief. If you're still having your periods and they are just coming wherever they're really unreliable and just coming whenever, which often happens with the menopause, you just don't know. You need to make sure that you're covered in that sort of situation. You've got to have your fan with you because you never know when you're going to get really, really hot and need your fan. And then talking about that, you need to have ice water because if you get really hot, your mouth gets really dry, you're hot, it's hot from the inside. So you need water to be able to help calm you down. So now this bag that you're carrying around, rather than being dainty, is a sack because you're anxious, but you don't have, all the things that you need to have. Your sugar level drops really suddenly. So you might need to have a little snack, whether it's a bit of fruit or a bit. So there's all these things that can lead to your anxiety and you just feeling panic that you put yourself in a situation that you don't have the answer to. And it might seem really simple, but if you are struggling with brain fog or forgetting things, it's really easy to come out of the house without your ready go kit because you're rushing. Everything becomes a lot. So what's the answer? What are some of the tips or strategies or things that you can do to help with this? Well, the first thing is taking control. How do we take control? Well, we write lists, don't we? And I've mentioned this before, that I write everything down because I am not always going to remember everything. I don't always remember everything. So I write everything down. So write a list, but I'm going to push you a little bit further. Rather than just having a list, what about having a journal? Now, not all of us are journal writers. I certainly am not. I've not really been the person. I know there are some of you lovely ladies out there that you write in diaries and have been writing in diaries for a long time, and that's brilliant because that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Keep a journal. So write everything down, significant or insignificant. Keep a little checklist. What do you need to have? Where are you going? What do you need to have in your bag? Your water, your paracetamol, and just before you go out, just check. Make sure that you've got it. It sounds so simple, but honestly, on a day-to-day basis, when you're just trying to get through life, that simple little lifeline of a checklist is, is invaluable. What about putting yourself first? What about that? What about you? What do you need? What is it that would make your life easier? And get out of the guilty thing of, well, I can't put myself first because my family needs me. I need to be here. I need to do this. I need to do that. Yes, but what do you need to do for you? You need to put yourself first, because if you don't put yourself first, how can you be there to do all the things that you feel are really important that you need to do? You can't show up for anyone else if you don't show up for yourself. So that means that you need to take a step back and notice when your anxiety triggers are coming up. So for me, I'm not afraid to admit that I've been very lax with my journal writing. I haven't been keeping a journal. I haven't been writing down my things at night or in the morning. I have been doing my meditating, but I haven't been writing. So putting things down and then reviewing what I've written would have given me a clue. It's like having my friend on my shoulder saying to me, well, you've been looking at however many houses this week. You're staying up late in bed and writing, looking at houses to view. You're trying to get an assignment in for your doctorate. You're also worried about your friend who might be going through a difficult time. Work is particularly stressful at the moment. If I'd been just bullet points about how my day had gone by, and then remembering that actually things have been so busy that, put my hands up, I forget to eat. And I am doing my intermittent fasting, which is great for me, but also I am very guilty of not eating until I'm hungry. And at times I get caught up with things, I get busy, and then it gets to the end of the day and I realise I've had a cup of coffee and been drinking water all day. Those are things that will, over a period of time, will add to my stress because everything else is so stressful. And if I'd been keeping my journal, if I'd just been jotting down what I've been doing and how I've been feeling on a day-to-day basis, I'm a bit tired. Did I remember to take my vitamins this morning? Did I have some fruit today? Those are the jogging things that I know that when I leave those things out, adds to my stress, which builds my anxiety. So keeping a journal. What else do you do for yourself? So for me, I like to exercise, always have. I've always exercise and sport have been a part of my life forever. So I need to make time for me to be able to do my training. And when I don't, my serotonin builds up. And I become more jumpy, more anxious, more stressed, because the thing that relieves my pressure cooker, I'm not doing. And so it predisposes me to become stressy and anxious, and that little triggers will affect me. So what's your thing? What do you do? Do you listen to music? Do you meditate? So I meditate, and you know what I've found? That when I'm getting stressed out, I stress about the amount of time I'm spending meditating. So I'm now in the middle of my meditation in the morning thinking, okay, this lasts for, there's only 3 more minutes. It'll be finished in a minute, and I can start doing. That's an alarm bell, because I'm not allowing myself the time to de-stress. I'm not giving myself that important start to the morning. I'm rushing myself into the start of the morning, which is bad, really bad, very bad for me particularly, which proves itself in the massive anxiety attack that I had that then landed up in a 2-day migraine. So, I know that for me, there are certain things that I have to do for myself. Otherwise, I can't show up for the people that I love. And when I can't show up for the people that I love, the guilt in itself weighs me down. And then you're in this cycle of destruction where you're trying to keep up for them, but you're not strong enough to, and it just, it goes round and round and round. So being there for me, putting me first, is the most important thing that I can do, because without doing that, I am perpetuating my problem. So you need to keep your diary, little journal, draw in it, whatever it is that you need to do. You could draw your day, you don't have to write it. You can mind map your day, you can bullet point your day, or if you just love writing, you can write it. Or we've all got these that are attached to us, like we've got, a third appendage. Voice note. Send yourself a voice note. Use the voice memos. Talk to yourself. It's really important. Okay, what else? My friends. My friends are my absolute lifeline. And there are times where I really don't feel like talking. And that's anxiety and depression, where I don't have the words to describe what I'm feeling. But my soul sisters, I don't have to. So I don't ring up and pour my heart out. I'm not doing that. I'm ringing up and I am finding out how they are. What's happening in their life? What are they up to? How's their day been? And in just talking about their day and their life, and that takes my mind away from my stuff, and it lifts you. If you can be there for someone else in that simple way of just hearing them, just hearing someone else will lift your own spirits. And then if you're ready, you can talk about yourself and what's happening for you. And sometimes I can have a whole conversation and not mention anything about anything that's been going on with me, but I put the phone down, and because I haven't been focused on myself for that period of time, I feel better. And then I've even got answers to my own things. So then I think, actually, I can make that call now, or I can deal with that situation now, because I feel better in myself, because I've just allowed myself to get out of my own head. So important. So important. When I was thinking about doing this podcast, a question that was asked was, well, let me challenge you. What about if you don't have friends? That's a really good question, because not everybody, I know I'm lucky, I know I'm blessed, and I've got the most, and you all know who you are, the most wonderful friendship group. They are a phenomenal group of women. I am very blessed. And aside, if you've sort of seen some of my little self videos in Budapest, then you know that I'm very blessed, and I know that, and I know that not everybody is. So what do you do if you don't have a circle of friends, male or female, that you can lean on, that you can call, but you have got yourself? So this sounds mad, but trust me, it works, because like I just said, sometimes I don't actually feel like talking to people, but I always feel like talking to myself. So I always have conversations with me. Oh dear, sharing a real crazy now. I record myself sometimes. I just put a voice note on and I just talk, and I just let out whatever's in my head to me. And then when I'm ready, I listen back to it. Now it sounds nuts, but getting it out from inside of your head is the thing. It's not about, sometimes what you're feeling and what you're thinking is so dark and so crazy that you don't want anyone else to hear it, because you are afraid that they'll judge you. So they don't have to hear it. Just get it out of your head, record it for yourself to hear it. And then just because it's not in your head, when you listen back, there's a part of your brain, you're tricking a bit of your brain into hearing it for the first time, like it's coming from someone else. And it just allows you to be able to break it apart, break it down into small, simple things, simple bits that you can deal with. It really does matter. It really does make a difference. And once you've got it out of your head, it's not actually that crazy anymore. It's not that, it isn't just bouncing around in your mind, not being answered. It's out. For some people, they write it down. And in writing it down, they just pour out the words that are in their head. We're in no particular order onto the page. And just getting it out of your head makes a difference. Try it. Try either one of those two things. And, reach out to me. Maybe tell me. Maybe, message me your thoughts. Just get it out of your head. Ask me your questions. Come into my female circle. They are all lovely. Come and talk to us. There will be points for you to be able to do that. There will be, I am going to start doing Zoom meetings again where we can just all come online and just talk to each other. So that's coming. So, look out for that. Use us as your voice, as your sounding board, as the people that will hear you and hear what you've got to say, and know that we won't judge you because we're in it too. That's why I'm doing this. That's what this is about. It's about creating a safe space where we can all share and help each other. That's what my aim is for this. That's what Mel's Talks is about. All you need to do is go for a walk. All you need to do is exercise. All you need to do is just breathe. Okay, so let's talk about that, because that's a big one. And in the time when you are feeling your most anxious, put your hand on your chest. And that's going to help to anchor you. So you're feeling yourself. And then I want you to think about taking four, just a breath in. So for a count of 4 in your head, you're going to just take a big breath in. So you're going to count in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to breathe out for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to repeat it. So you're going to breathe in. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Try and repeat it about 3 times minimum. You can do it with your eyes closed, you can do it with your eyes open, it doesn't really matter. What that will do is it will just help to center you down, bring you back to your present moment, because what anxiety does is it makes you skip forward to this worst possible case scenario that actually hasn't happened. That's what it does. It makes you forget that actually you're in control in this present moment. And what the breathing will do is it brings you back to the now, to the present. And without going all woo-woo on you, it's the present. People always say, live for now, live for the moment, but I don't actually sort of go into what that actually means. But it's about being present in every moment, and you'll catch yourself doing it. So how many times have you been in a meeting? And I'll start with meetings because we all have to do meetings. So you're in a meeting and it isn't even one that you don't want to be there. It's not even a boring one. It's actually one that you quite enjoy. So you want to be in a meeting because this is it's the Race Equity Network meeting or something. Something you're really you're fired up about. You're enthusiastic and you're there. And after 10 minutes, you start thinking, oh, did I let the dog out this morning? Oh, when I go home, I think I'll stop at Sainsbury's and I think what do I need to get from Sainsbury's? Oh, a bottle of wine might be nice for dinner. Or, hold on a minute. I was going to call whoever. Did they call me? And you sneak a little look at your phone and then you flick back to the meeting and something's been said, but you haven't quite heard it. But you don't want to say because now you're not in the present moment. Or you're at home and you are having a lovely dinner with your partner, and they're telling you about their day, and you're trying to stay focused, and you start thinking about dinner, the pudding, the wine, there's a speck on the wall that's behind them. How did that get there? How am I going to clean up? What even is the colour of that wallpaper now? Where did we get that? Because I might need to replace it. And you're not in the present moment anymore. We do it all the time. With anxiety, what we then do is, rather than just thinking about the wallpaper, we start thinking about the terrible thing and the consequences of that terrible thing that actually hasn't happened but could happen in the future that we're now writing the story for, and we race off over there. And when you breathe and you connect yourself back to here, it brings you back to this moment, and it reminds you that actually none of that's happened yet, and the person in control of whether this goes good or bad is you. It's you. And while I'm on that note, when we're thinking about solutions, who do you look up to? If you don't have a friend group like I have, who do you go to for advice? Who puts their hands on you and gives you the little supportive hug? Who does that for you, whether it's physical or metaphorical? Do you have people that you follow online? Are there people that you think, I love what they talk about and I love that book I've read. Oh yeah, there's this person who's written this book and yeah, that really inspired me. So is there someone like that you can listen to, that will help to give you some tips about how they've gone through life? For me, I listen to Gabriella Bernstein, who is she's a motivational writer, and she's done quite a lot of things about the universe having your back, and just how we can live a better life by doing to others what you would like them to do to you. So that way of going through the world and looking for the good things in people. I love people like Mel Robbins, who has written, and I'm listening to and reading her audiobook right now called Let Them. That's amazing. And actually, if you haven't and you don't know who Mel Robbins is, I would highly recommend. In fact, I think I'm probably going to do a whole podcast on Mel Robbins and the Let Them theory. And if you happen to just be flicking past your Instagram at the moment, Mel, and I come up, it'll be really great to talk to you about the Let Them theory. But it talks about allowing people to be who they are. But the most important part about that is let me. So what then do I need to do? What can I do to make sure that I am putting me first here and taking care of myself and my mental health in this given situation? Whether it's at work, whether it's family situations, whether it's friends, whether it's, personal relationships. How do I make sure that in all of these areas, I am allowing the people that I interact with to do what they need to do, but I am protecting myself within this? So that for me, that's a game changer. I do have special friends that I can call on that I can talk to. But if you don't, then there are people out there that have written these books that, there's many that you can. I've only just mentioned a couple, and I can't even think of, I've probably got about 4 or 5 that I will listen to and will, if I'm feeling particularly low, might read or listen to their podcasts. I love Trevor Noah. I love listening to Trevor Noah podcasts. There's too many to mention, and maybe at some point there will be, I'll have to do a podcast on podcasts, but I suppose what I'm trying to say to you is find your anchor, find your something that holds you steady when it feels like the storm is really building around you. It's really, really important to have something that you can hold on to, and have a few different things that you can hold on to. You know, it's great to have friends, but it's also good to have things that you can quietly do for you, because people aren't always going to be able to be around. Everyone's life is really busy. And these are my quiet anchors, that when I really don't feel like talking, I put on some music and I pray and I read and I just sit and allow my personal anchors. I do my personal anchors. Sometimes it's the gym. Sometimes I just go and I just throw weights around. Well, I do that a lot, actually. I do the gym a lot. I train a lot. That is my daily mental health thing. But we're all different. Some people just like walking. For some people, it's, you know, they sit with their animals, or they go to a cafe and they just watch people, or, you know, whatever it is. What's your quiet thing? What's the thing that holds you steadfast? Find that, and I really encourage you to do that and do it often, whatever it is.